Hello and welcome back to Loud Creations. Today I am going to attempt to make an Elderberry Cyser. I was recently at a local farmer's market and I got a gallon and a half, well 3 half-gallon containers of fresh apple cider from a local orchard, and I wanted to make something out of it. I also had half a bag of dried elderberries left, and I decided, why not make like a cold and flu season mead? Because elderberry is good for your immune system. I'm also going to be adding a couple of other herbs to the mix. So yeah, let's get into it. So let's start out with the ingredients. First off, I already measured out my honey, and I'm going to do 3 gallons. And there are 6 pounds of honey in here, and it's pretty much the last of my local honey that I purchased in the late summer. So that's what is in here, 6 pounds. And I'm also going to be adding, like I said, I have a gallon and a half of fresh apple cider. I also have 3 Granny Smith apples that I will be adding to primary fermentation, because why not? Sounded good to me. For the elderberries, so behind me here, I have my little elderberry pot. I used about 16 ounces of water, cold filtered water, added in some spices. So I used 2 cinnamon sticks, 2 cloves, 3 strips of orange zest, and about 2 inches of fresh ginger, which I chopped. And I added all of that to the pot, which is right here. And I brought that up to a boil and then let it simmer for 30 minutes. And so we're here now. I am just going to pour this in here, but I'll get into that in a minute. Let's get through the ingredients. I also have a giant bag of mandarin oranges. I have already put regular orange zest that I had dried in my spiced elderberry liquid here. But I also wanted to just, I don't know, why not add a little bit of orange juice? And I need to use these. So I'm just gonna juice these. It won't produce much juice. I'm guessing maybe like 1/4 cup. And I'm gonna throw that in there too. And then I also, the herbs that I'm adding are, I'm doing 1/2 ounce of calendula, which is I think in the marigold family, and elderflower, which again is good for chest congestion. It's good for your immune system in general. Calendula, from what I've read, is anti-inflammatory. I think it is a pain reducer, maybe through that anti-inflammatory part of it. But anyway, it's anti-inflammatory. It is, it can help with blood sugar. And I believe I read somewhere that it can also help with like sore throat. Probably part of that anti-inflammatory property. So I'm just adding those in there. I happen to have 1/2 ounce of each. So those are currently in my pitcher, and I'm just letting it steep in about 64 ounces of filtered water that I then boiled. So we're just waiting on that. And I'll be using D47 yeast for this because I happen to have a lot of that. Did I forget anything? I don't think I did. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop up these apples and I'm gonna toss them in there. So I'm gonna have to chop them fairly small to get them through the top there. I have like a 6-gallon fermenter, but I didn't wanna deal with washing it out. So I'm just gonna put everything into this 3-gallon carboy and see how it all works out. So I will be right back. I'm gonna chop these up and we're gonna put them in the carboy. All right, there we go. Our apples are in. Now I put them in now because once I put the hot liquids in, I'm hoping they'll help kind of break up the honey and help with mixing it, because this is already really heavy. Oh, but that's okay, because I should get exercise anywhere I can get it. All right, next up. Oh, and I sanitized even the fruit just because. So I'm going to go ahead next. I'm going to peel these. I'm going to use my little orange squisher, juicer. And I'm going to see how much orange juice I get to add to this. I'm going to speed this up too because this is, I don't know how entertaining it'll be to watch me peel oranges and juice them. So. I want to say I have about 2 ounces of orange juice, or yeah, it's orange juice. I'd say this is about 2 ounces of orange juice, like a 1/4 cup was what I had estimated, so that's perfect. And I'm just gonna use a different arm so I don't block myself. But I'm just gonna pour this in there. I don't know, when I've juiced at home, I really love making kind of a tart apple orange juice. I'd use like Pink Lady apples, and it was really good. So I'm hoping adding orange will be turn out to be a good idea. Next, since we have all this in here, I'm gonna move my cutting board. That's over here. Okay, so next up, I want to pour in my elderberry. It's not really elderberry syrup. It's like spiced elderberry juice. And my thought process here was, I've tried all different ways of adding spices, and I'm still playing around with what works for me and what gets the best flavor. So what I plan on doing here is I already added the spices and let them simmer. The orange peel, ginger, cloves, and cinnamon, they simmered with the elderberries. And so this should be pretty spiced, but I'm also just going to dump them in here and let them be in primary. And when I go to rack this in like a week and a half, I'll probably do it in about a week. I will probably add more cinnamon, possibly other spices into secondary to give it a really nice spiced flavor, because I find when it goes into primary that it's not as pronounced. So I'm kind of like just tripling up on it. I'm cooking it in with the juice. I'm also going to ferment on it, and I'm going to add it to secondary, and we'll see how it turns out. So got my funnel, and I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. I will spare you the big mess that could ensue, and I will be right back. All right, so I'm back, and of course I made a mess. I don't know how I managed. So the elderberries got clogged in here, and you can see maybe in the shadow, there's still a lot of elderberry in there. I'm gonna just pour my tea over it, but I had put this lid over it and was trying to shake it around, and then the lid popped off, and I sprayed some stuff with, I sprayed a little elderberries everywhere, and they stain, so I don't know what it is, but I don't make the brightest decisions when it comes to mead making sometimes. Just whatever, I don't need to add that in. Okay. Okay, so now we have our calendula and elderflower. I'm gonna take the tea bag out. It's still floating in there. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this over the elderberries, and smells interesting. I'm gonna pour it over the remaining elderberries and see if that can loosen it up. Otherwise, I'm just gonna, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Okay, so this is probably, gosh, I don't even know how much this weighs, but I'm gonna go ahead and that did the trick. There was a cinnamon stick plugging up the funnel, but we worked it out. I'm gonna go ahead and shake this up and try to get it mixed, and I will be right back. Okay, so that actually wasn't too bad. I think I made the right decision putting the hot stuff in there. So I'm gonna go ahead now and add as much, oh God, I'm winded. Hold on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my 1.5 gallons of apple cider. Oh, this is so good. So I still have just a little bit of the apple cider left, but this is really full. And what I'm finding is if you get much past here, if those yeasties are really happy when fermentation takes off, we're in for an explosion. But that's okay. It'll just fly out of the top and make the carboy all dirty and probably the surrounding area. But I am prepared for that. So I don't know if I did a blow-off tube in any of my videos, but you can create a blow-off tube. I'm sure other mead makers have very thorough videos on that. Maybe one day I will make a blow-off tube video, but I don't have one currently, as far as I know. But I've been doing this a while now, so I could have. I don't know. Anyway, now I'm going to shake this up. Whoa, stuff's falling over. I'm going to shake this up and we're going to have to go get the yeast so I can add that in. So I will be right back again. All right, so I'm back with my D47 Lalvin yeast, and I'm going to go ahead and just add the whole packet in. And then we'll shake it around again and see what our gravity is. Hopefully I gauged it well with the... So the alcohol tolerance for this one, I believe it's 14%. I should have checked the temperature. This is plenty cool, so I'm not worried about killing my yeast. I'm gonna actually get a good mix going. Okay, whoo! So it's all mixed in there. I have my, whoop, hold on, let's drip this water out. Got my turkey baster and my hydrometer little beaker. I'm going to go ahead and get some of this liquid out and let's see what the gravity is. Okay, from what I can tell, this is at hold on. All right, I'm going to pour this back in. We are at 1.084, which I think is just fine. Oh, got a lot of elderberries in there. To wash that out. Let's see. Let me see what that amounts to here. All right, so that's about, if this dries out all the way, that's about 11%, which I think is good. And I'm probably I'm gonna back sweeten this with what's left of my local honey. But that's a ways out. So I'll be back with this. I'm not sure. I'm probably going to try to do a tasting in a couple months. I know that's really soon, but I don't know. I'm just really excited about it. So I'll be back with this and we'll see how it all turned out. My hope for this one is I'm going to bottle it in like little beer bottles and just kind of have it as my cold and flu mead. Because what better way to take your medicine, right, than having a nice glass of mead. Anyway, what am I getting at? I hope this video was useful and I will see you next time. Thank you.